Welcome to the Global Speaker Advantage, the #1 podcast where your voice goes beyond borders. Hosted by Oliver Nshom, international speaker and coach, this show is for speakers ready to grow influence, land paid gigs, and make a global impact. Tune in every Tuesday and Friday weekly for insights, interviews, and strategies to help you thrive on the world stage. Let's go global.
Welcome, everybody, and I hope you're having fun wherever you are watching this from around the world. Today, I want to talk on 5 steps to land your first international gig. This presentation is for everybody who is tired of speaking nationally, maybe in your home country, and you want to go international, you want to go global, and you feel like this is the right time for you to start going internationally with your stories, with your messages of impact, and you believe strongly that there are some people out there who need to hear the message and cannot wait to do that. So I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that I have all experienced, that I've tried and tested, and they work. And so if you practice these 5 things I'll be sharing with you, I want to assure you that in less than no time, you will be landing your first international speaking gig, just like I did mine some years down the line. And so the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to landing international gig is that you have to position yourself as a global voice. You have to position yourself as a global voice. Why is that too important? It's going to be practically challenging for you to land international speaking gig if you are not seeing yourself doing that. If you are focusing just locally, wherever you are, it's going to be practically very, very challenging to do that. Very, very challenging to do that. By that, I'm saying that you have to position yourself as a global voice. You can speak nationally, but having an international perspective, having an international brand in mind, having an international mindset. And what that means is that whenever you're invited to speak in a community event, in a community gathering, in your local community, in your country, seize the moment. See it as an opportunity to speak internationally. Means that the way you perceive the event, the way you perceive the presentation should not just be at the local level, but it should also be of the international standard. Because when you begin to build, even locally, having the mindset that you're going international, you're going global, you become unstoppable. You become unstoppable, and especially when you start reaching international market. And so what this means, positioning yourself as a global voice means that your mindset, your actions, your habits, any way you do things that really reflect where you're heading to. So you want to take the smaller things into consideration. You want to take the things that people ignore seriously, because that is where your success, your breakthrough is going to come from. And so when you have that mindset of positioning yourself as a global voice, even while you are still locally or nationally in your home country, that is the kind of person who can easily land international speaking gigs. That being said, what's the second thing you have to start doing? Research and target the right event. You already know, for those of you who have been following me on this channel, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, when you become a professional speaker, you don't have to talk about everything. You have to pick a niche for yourself. My niche, I have a niche, right? And so I have 2 to 3 niches. So one of my niche is team building and adaptability, right? Another one I talk so much about is resilience, all right? And I also have leadership as one of my niches. And so why is it important to have a niche or niches that you're speaking? You can talk about everything. That's a fact. You can't talk about everything. That is a fact. So what that means is that You have to pick a niche. Let people know you for one single thing you talk about. Let people know you for one thing, and then begin with one thing. And then once you build the credibility it takes to become a thought leader in that one single thing, and then you can add more options. It's a little bit like an entrepreneur or a business person. When you want to start a business, you want to be successful in that business, focus on one product or focus on one service. When you consistently deliver value that is unpickable to your clients or to your customers, focusing on that one single product or service, there's bound to be trust. There's bound to be credibility. They know that you're somebody who delivers on your word. And when they believe that this is who you are, they will start liking you, they will start loving you, they will start recommending you and referring you to other people to do business with you. And who are the other people? Friends of those who buy from you, families and relations of those who buy from you, colleagues of those who buy from you. And that is so powerful. So when I say research and target the right events, what that means is that you have to choose the events you want to speak in or speak at, and you have to learn to say no to the events you don't want to talk at them. That's so important. That's so important. And in that way, when people are organizing events, maybe a tech event and AI events, financial tech events, they know that no, this is not the speaker who can be thinking about speaking this kind of event. So we cannot go for this person. But when people are organizing events on leadership, on personal development, on team building, on accountability, on change and adaptability, on resilience, they know that yes, that's the person that we should be thinking about. That's the person that should be the speaker. That's the person, because people already know your brand, they know your value, they know your services, they believe in what you can deliver, they know your niche. And when you get to that point where people know that this is what you do, and this is what you do, and this is the only thing you do, then there is no way you will not prevail in that particular industry. So you have to choose your niche. Are you going to be talking about leadership? Are you going to be talking about change and adaptability? Are you going to be talking about resilience? What do you want to talk about? Make it known to your clients. Make it known to the people out there. Make it known to the people that will be listening to you. Make it known, because that is so important. That is so very important. So you got to choose a niche and stick to it. I know you'll be asking me, why should I not talk about almost all the things? The point is that you don't have all the time to be jumping from one event to another, talking on different things. That can create a lot of, you know, confusion in the minds of the people that you're talking to them. People don't want to be seeing you everywhere all the time speaking. They want to see you in some specific places, in some particular time, in some particular events speaking. And again, when you actually pick a niche, you actually establish yourself as an authority. And in this industry, in this speaking industry, when you put yourself or position yourself as a thought leader, as an authority, you win more. You win more, because people tend to come to you to ask questions, to seek solutions to their problems. And that is why you gotta speak. You gotta pick a thing. Let it be that if they call you on something you're not really good at it, you can recommend your colleague, your collaborators, your mentors, that this is the person that can handle this very well. As for me, this is what I focus on. And when you begin to recommend people on things that they are reaching to you, opportunities reaching to you, and you don't want to pick them because that's not your area of expertise, that speaks so well about you. It talks about your reputation and your integrity. It talks about your thought leadership in that thing you're doing. So pick a niche. And so the third thing I want to talk about here is pitch like a pro. All right. So pitch like a pro. What does that mean? It means that you have to be able to communicate your value in an airplane flying to another country, in a bus traveling to a different city, in a train traveling to a different stop, in a taxi cab with a driver or together with people. You should be ready to pitch what you do always. So you have to pitch like a pro. What do you talk about? How can you tell somebody in 2 minutes that this is what you talk about, and give the reason why they need to hire you, or reason why they need to convince their friends who are event organizers and speakers bureaus to hire you to speak on that topic? What can you do to get this done? And if you have not watched my video on how to introduce yourself in a meeting that will get people to hire you for what you are doing in terms of your service or products you're selling, you have to watch the video because it's a game changer. It's a mind blowing. And everybody who attend meetings, who go for meetings, students association, professional meetings and conferences, and you are introducing yourself to people, you need to watch this video because it will gonna save you from a lot of embarrassment. You know that kind of stuff where you have been waiting for a moment and the moment finally came and passed and you are regretting of the moment instead of keeping celebrating the memories of the moment. That is what I wanted to avoid. So speech like a pro, speech like a pro. Learn how to communicate what you talk on, to sell yourself on what you talk on, anywhere you find yourself at any time of the day. I don't mean that you should be so pushy and selly. I mean that there is a professional way, a very strategic way to communicate what you do without necessary, doing a lot of self-talks. Now, let me give you a practical example, okay? Just a tip of the iceberg of what I talk about. For instance, I am Oliver Nshom. I'm married and we are blessed with two beautiful girls. One interesting thing about me you need to know is that for the past 15 years, I have delivered hundreds of presentations and reached out to 25,000 people across 16 countries. I just came back from Nebraska, where I was invited by my mentor to deliver a 30-minute tour to entrepreneurs across the United States on how to speak with passion. At the time when the entrepreneurs, they want to scale up their businesses, they needed strategies and techniques on how they can be able to speak and communicate effectively with their stakeholders, with their partners, with their sponsors, with their clients. And that's exactly why I got there. Thank you. Get a point? So you see what I've done? I've just sold myself to you right now. So the question you're asking, okay, there is something I've said in what I've said in introducing myself that piqued your attention. Probably you're asking yourself, okay, what have I taught? What skills can you perceive I have right now? Probably training speakers, a coaching speaker. And of course, if there's somebody who's struggling in communication right there in the room where I just made this statement, the person obviously wants to walk up to me after the session and say, hey, I love what you do. Can you push me to become an effective communicator, to pitch well as an entrepreneur, to communicate well to my stakeholders, to my team members as a team leader? That's it. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. If you want to get more about this particular point three, check my video, how to pitch well. And then leverage on referrals and collaborations. Now, most of the time, right there at the national level or in your community or county level, you do presentations, right? Remember, the title of this video is 5 Steps to Land Your First International Speaking Gig or Speaking Opportunity. And so what that means is that you have to have been speaking nationally or locally in your local country, in your country, your community. And then, so when you go to speak in your country, in these communities, now you have to learn to leverage referrals and collaboration. So what this means is that when you speak, make sure that you always communicate that you are open for more speaking opportunities, both internationally and nationally. In the course of you doing the presentations locally, you never know who is going to listen to you. You never know who is watching. You never know what is going to happen next. And before then, you need to make sure that you're good. Make sure you are so good that they cannot ignore you. You never know. There could be someone in that room who has an uncle in Thailand, in Belgium, in Russia, in America, in Canada, in Germany, in the United Kingdom, who is looking forward to get a speaker from where you are coming from to speak in their upcoming bootcamp, the conference and summit. And who knows, maybe just a 5-minute video of yourself, of him taking with his camera, or just putting up the phone and taking a 5-minute video of yourself, sharing this with this uncle, with this auntie, whoever is watching you, that could be a game changer for you. So never ignore this. Learn to leverage on referrals and collaborations, okay, with the people in the hall, with the people you're networking with them. That is so big. And remember, the power of your speech is measured in impact per minute. What that means is that every 60 seconds, which is equal to 1 minute on your stage, while you're on the stage, matters a lot. And so, impact per minute means that whatever you're saying within 60 seconds, whatever you're saying within 60 seconds, whatever you're saying within 60 seconds should count. It means that every minute should count. Never you bore people even within a minute, because if you do that, it will affect the impact of your presentation. Think about that. And then finally, localize the globalize. Localize and then globalize. What that means is that though you be speaking locally, but you have to always nail it. Because if you don't localize by nailing it, you cannot globalize by getting the international speaking gigs or the global speaking gigs. So you have to ask yourself this question: what is the context like in America, in Europe, in Asia? What's the speaking industry like? What are the things I don't have to say when I'm speaking in America, when I'm speaking in Europe, when I'm speaking in Asia? What are the things that I have to say when I'm speaking in America, when I'm speaking in Europe, when I'm speaking in Asia, when I'm speaking in Africa? Because I just learned this a lot the hard way. When I had my speaking gig in Asia, in Singapore, there were some things I discovered probably for my first time. A little bit like how to give a business card to somebody. I realized that when you want to give a business card to somebody in Singapore, you have to hold it with your two hands and then put it in a way that when the person takes the card, he doesn't flip it. I discovered that while I was already in Singapore. Right? And there are things I discovered here in the United States that amazed me. There are some things you don't say when you are speaking. For instance, when you're doing a talk to people, you don't make statements like, everybody be on your feet. Everybody, please, can you be on your feet? No, you don't make such statements. You know why? Because there are people in the room that they might be on their wheelchairs. And so the moment you say, everybody be on your feet, and these people are not on their feet, these people are feeling uncomfortable. And the other people around them who notice that they cannot be on their feet, they don't agree with you. That statement could have been tweaked or rephrased. And what's the right thing to say if you're speaking to a community like that? You say, if you can be on your feet, be on your feet, right? And there are a lot of things that you have to consider when you're speaking in America. You have to be gender and sex sensitive. You have to in other countries as well. So you cannot come from a country where people understand gender as probably male and female to a country where that's beyond gender, and you are speaking and using the same language, all right, as though you are in your home country. It doesn't work like that. So if you do that, some people see that as bullshit, and they might not really listen to you, because you never know who is in your audience watching at you, listening to you. So you need, as a speaker, your job is to understand your audience. That's my point. My point is that if you don't understand your audience, you will always mess up. So spend time with your audience before you talk, understanding how they perceive things, how they look at life, how they look at the world, their worldviews. You need to understand that before you come to speak. And guess what? If you don't have master of these intricacies, of the nitty-gritties, of the notes and the bolts, boy, you will have to step up your game. And so when you have a master of these 5 things, you are ready to do your first international gig. Number 1, position yourself as a global voice. Number 2, research and target the right event. Number 3, pitch like a pro. Number 4, leveraging referrals and collaborations. Finally, number 5, localizing, then globalizing. And guess what? I want to give you a bonus. The bonus is repeat and refine always. So what that means is that any speech you do, if you can have a video clip of it, listen to it, correct your mistakes, and then refine it again and again before you go and deliver the speech again next time. Because the more you listen to your speeches, your presentation, the more errors you correct from them, the more better you deliver this presentation the next time. That was it. My name is Oliver Nshom. And if you found value in this video, like, comment, why not share? And if at all you need a guide, I know you're a great hero or a heroine, and you're doing so well already, and you want to achieve your dreams, at all costs. And that is why I did this video, because I believe in you, and I know that you already believe in yourself, and together we can do bigger things in as much as your speaking career is concerned. So in case you need a mentor, a coach, someone who can work out the hero in you, who can guide you with the steps, with the stages, with the tweaks, with the technical aspect of you speaking internationally, if that is what you are looking forward to, it would be such an honor for my team and myself to be your great guide to you as you discover the hero in the speaking industry within you and bring it out. So that was it. And I'm looking forward, as always, to see you at the top.